तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुके. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 2, verse number 47. So, Sage Hari is replying to the question of King Nimi, where he asks that what is the dharma of a devotee, what is his swabhava, how does he act, how does he speak, how does he behave. So he is replying to that. So first he is speaking about his vision, and these two slokas were spoken. Sarvabhutesu yapashet bhagavad bhavam atmana bhutani bhagavati atmani esha bhagavatottama ishvaresu tadadhinesu बालिशेषु दिशत्सु च प्रेमैत्री कृपा उपेक्षा या करोति समध्यमा. So he defined Uttam Bhagavat and Madhyam Bhagavat.
Recording in progress.
So is it working or not? It's working. So these two types of devotees have been described in the two verses, Uttam Bhagavat and Madhyam Bhagavat. The Uttam Bhagavat is, if you read the characteristic, then we can understand that such a person is not practical in life, because it will be very difficult for such a vision to function in the society. Because in society there are various types of people. You can have your vision, but they don't have that vision. So there will be difficulty. Therefore, Madhyam Bhagavat is what is Vyavaharika, means practical. That how one can deal and still be a devotee and free from raga and dvesha. So that's why it was very important verse, because it is teaching us how we function. Because we live in the world, and the world is not full of devotees or spiritualists. So there are various types of people. There are atheists, there are inimical people, there are neutral people, and there are devotees. So therefore he gave three ways to deal, besides that he has love for Bhagavan. But as far as dealing with people, he says Maitri, Kripa and Upeksha. Friends with those who are favorable, devotees. Kripa, those who are neutral, not inimical, innocent. And Upeksha, or indifference, to those who are inimical. So one should also protect oneself. But at the same time one should not have any dvesha or hatred towards them. That's what he said. Now he describes the third type of bhakta who is not very advanced. So for that he says, Archayam eva hariye pujam yasradhyai hate na tad bhaktesu cha anneshu Sabhaktaha prakrita smrita. So he says one who performs worship. So he says it is frozen now.
Recording in progress.
So both are not working. Sometimes Y, sometimes Phi. That's what is called Wi-Fi.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So he says that Archayam eva haraye pujam ye swadhyaya ihate. That this person, he does puja, worship of the deity, Hari, and with faith, swadhyaya ihate. But he does not have any respect for devotees or other people. Natad bhaktesu channesu. So he says this type of bhakta is called prakrita. So prakrita means neophyte. Again, what is the problem?
Wi-Fi is not working also. It's disconnecting every time. Is someone connected with Jiva temple? With Wi-Fi Jiva temple? On which Wi-Fi have you connected? Jiva guest house. Jiva guest house.
Recording in progress.
Working good? Yes. So we try Jiva guest house?
Jiva guest house, 5G.
I have Jiva.
Maybe try it on. Refresh. Refresh your life.
Refresh the website. Jiva is working good.
Jiva guest house is not 5G.
Babaji, we can put any Wi-Fi, but if it doesn't work, then we will have these issues currently. So
We changed 3 Wi-Fi's now and it is repeating the same issue.
we try again with the best way.
They're saying it is still frozen.
It says your internet connection is unstable. Now we are coming back Babaji. Yeah, Janaki is saying it's working. Yeah, we can go Babaji, and if it happens again, we will.
We will try something. Okay.
So prakrita bhakta means this, sometimes misunderstood this word prakrita. Sometimes people wrongly translate it as material bhakta. It does not mean material. It's not coming from prakriti, but the word comes from prakrita. So prakrita means to begin, and prakrita means who is a beginner. So that's the distinction. So therefore it means person who is not very advanced is a new devotee, what you call neophyte. He is neo and fight. Right? Neo means new, and he fights with others. He does puja and fights. That's what it says, that Archayam eva Hare Pujam ya Shraddhya ihate. Yes, Shraddha in the deity, but not tad bhakti, not anyesu tad bhaktesu, but not in the other devotees. So he says that is called Prakrita. So let's see the commentary. So he says, yes. Archayam Pratimayam. The word Archa here means Pratima, means the deity form. Haraye of Hari, Harim Prinaitum Natad Bhakteshu api Anyesu cha Sutram Prakrita. So he does seva for the pleasure of the deity. That's why he had said Shraddhya ihate. So he has Shraddha in that. But not at Bhakteshu api, but he does not have Shraddha in the devotees. He has Shraddha only in the deity. So therefore he is not respectful to them. Anyesu cha Sutram Prakrita. So therefore he is called Prakrita, and as he explains Prakriti Prarambha. That means the beginning. Adhuna eva prarabdha bhakti. He had just begun performing bhakti. Sanair uttamo bhavishyati iti arthi. Artha iti Sri Swami Charana. But gradually he will also become a Uttam Bhakta. That is the commentary of Sridhar Swami. Tadevam tribhir yad dharmo yadrisha iti prasniyor uttaram uktam. So in these three slokas, he has replied to the first part of this question, where he says, At Bhāgavatam Bruta Yad Dharmo Yadrisho Nirnam. That please explain to me what is his dharma, which was translated as his character, Yadrisha Swabhava, which type. So therefore he gave three. That means it is not that all devotees are of one type only. Because when we use the word devotee, the devotees do this, devotees do japa, devotees. So it looks like the devotees are all same. So it is not. So he gives first three categories. But it is not only three, there are so many more categories. But just at least three divisions, three levels. So it should be understood that there is much variety among the devotees, and so we get a little idea from here. So that part has been replied. And then he continues in the next verse. Yes.
Here, I'm trying to understand, when they say he has Shraddha on the deity but not on the bhaktas, without Shraddha on the bhakta, how he learned about serving the deity? His jnana about the deity only will not come without Shraddha on the Sat.
Well, he has studied, obviously he has some knowledge. Like suppose he is born in a family where they are worshipping, so then he naturally has Shraddha, but he is not so much having faith. So Jiva Goswami mentions this in Bhakti Sandarbha, that this Shraddha which is mentioned here is not Shastriya Shraddha. It is Samajiki Shraddha. Because he says that if it is Shastriya Shraddha, then he will also respect devotees, because Shastra says that. So that is his conclusion. Maybe here also he writes that, but it came in Bhakti Sandarbha. Yeah, he writes here. He says, Iyam cha Shraddha na Shastra Artha Avdharana Jata. He says that this Shraddha which is mentioned in this sloka, Yasradhya ihate, this Shraddha has not come from the study of Shastra. Yasyatma buddhi kunpe tridhatuke ityadi Shastra agyanat tasmat lok parampara prapta. He says, therefore it is lok parampara, what we call as social. So there are two types of Shraddha people have. This is also important to understand. One is that you get Shraddha because you are born in a particular family or society. Like in certain parts of India, it is very common to worship Ganesh. So if you are born in that region, then you see everybody doing Ganesh Puja, Ganesh Chaturthi. So you also have that Shraddha. Or you are born in a particular village where people are following certain custom. So you naturally follow that. So this is called Lok Parampara or social. Another is the Shraddha, which is generated or born or received by studying the Shastra from a qualified teacher. So that is Shastriya Shraddha. So he says this. He makes a similar comment also for the Gita verse. Apichait sudracharo bhajte mamananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavashito hisa. So there it is said that even if a devotee is engaged in some immoral act, apichait sudra, but he is one-pointed devotion to Bhagavan, then he should be considered as a sadhu, saintly. So there also he says that this Shraddha of this person is not Shastriya Shraddha. Why? Because if he is having Shastriya Shraddha, then he will not engage in immoral activity, because Shastra teaches you that this is moral, this is immoral. Shastra forbids you to act in an immoral way. And if one has Shastriya Shraddha, that is the very meaning of Shastriya Shraddha. The meaning of Shastriya Shraddha is that Shastra Arthe Vishwasa, that you believe that Shastra is right. So therefore what it says, you do that. So there also he says that Shraddha is not Shastriya, but also Lok Parampara Prapta. So that's an important point to understand. So sometimes we see this, that somebody is pujari or doing puja, but not very respectful to devotees, and may have pride that I am pujari, I am the worshipper of the deities. So then the next verse. So these three verses form one part of the reply. That is about Yad Dharma and Yadrisha. What is basically Swabhava. Then the next part of the question was Yathacharati Yad Brute Yelingai Bhagavata Priya. How he acts, what he speaks, and by what symptoms is he dear to Bhagavan. So that is being described now. So grihitvapi indriyair arthan yonadveshti nihrishyati vishnur mayam idam pashyan savai bhagavatottamaha. So he says he is considered as Uttam Bhagavata, the best of the devotees, who sees all this world as Vishnu Maya. It is the Maya of Vishnu, and he accepts objects of senses, indriyai, arthan, grihitvapi, but in a very neutral manner. Na dveshti, na hrishyati. He neither has dvesha nor he has joy. So he is not very joyous to get some material objects, and he is not having dvesha, dislike, particular situation which is not maybe favorable or like to his own liking, he does not do dvesha. So again, if you see these verses, that samta characteristic is seen here also. So this is one of the very important teaching of our Shastra. Not only bhakti literature, but if you read yoga Shastra or other schools, Saivagamas or Shaktagamas, Pancharatras, one of the very common point which is seen, including the Vedas also, and that is the view of samata, means becoming free from the dualistic nature of this love and hate relationship, because that's what binds us, that's what keeps us entangled in the material world. If you like it, then you will obviously hold on to it. If you hate it, then also you hold on to it. There are two ways to hold on to things, positively and negatively. If you are positive, you move towards it, and if you are negative, you move away from it. But in both cases, that object remains the center of your movement. Means your karma, your action is centered about something material. So therefore Shastra is always talking to be free from that, to be balanced. So it is not saying that you have to just renounce everything and sit in a cave. You can deal, you have to deal, because even when you sit in the cave, still that is also, cave is also part of the material world. So if you have raga and dvesha, then you may have reduced the territory, the field of your action, but you are still carrying the seeds of raga and dvesha. So there also you will have some raga and dvesha. So the main point is to be free from that asakti, attachment and hatred, dvesha. So this is also said here, that he is a Uttam Bhāgavata, he is who accepts. As in Gita also it was said, Raga Dvesha Vyukta Istu Vishyan Indriyescharan Atma Vasyai Vidhe Atma Prasadam Adhigacchati. That Raga Dvesha Vyukta, not Yukta, not united with Raga and Dvesha, but free from them. And Vishyan Indriyescharan, then your senses are going into the Vishaya, so now they don't become implicated in it. It's like there's a type of fish, it remains in mud, but the mud never sticks to its body. Safari. So it's called safari because it doesn't suffer. So it remains free from it. Or as in Gita we read Padma Patram Ivambhasa, like the lotus leaf on the water. If you have seen the lotus leaf, it's very interesting that it doesn't become wet. It looks, everything, the water just slips from it. It doesn't catch it. So that is how a devotee or a spiritualist, one who has risen beyond raga and dvesha, functions. So this is something which everybody has to practice it. Then you become free. And one way of seeing is that it is all Vishnu's Maya. Earlier he said that he sees everything as Bhagavan's presence. Now he is seeing it as Vishnu's Maya. So you can have, this is another type of Bhāgavata Uttama. He is also Uttam Bhāgavata. So he says that ultimately it is all Prakriti. Just like if you take gold, and with gold you make various types of ornaments, earrings, but in earrings also so many types of design, or necklaces. So we say, oh, very nice necklace. So our mind goes on the name and form, but it is all gold. So if you go beyond name and form, whether it is this type of necklace or that type of necklace or earring or bangles, so these are names. But what is the core material? Core material is gold. So this is the drishti of the devotee when he says Vishnu or Maya, that it's all Bhagavan's Prakriti, and Prakriti has manifested in this way. So of course in case of gold, it is gold only, but Prakriti becomes Mahat Tattva, Ahankara, Manas, Buddhi, and air, water, fire, and so many ways. So it takes different rupa, nana rupas, various forms. But it is Prakriti only. So therefore it says Vishnu or Maya midam Pashyan. So Pashyan means not just seeing but understanding. That his understanding is beyond this name and form. That what actually is the basis of it. And then it is not Maya just independently, but Vishnu is Maya. So therefore it is his Shakti. So this is the vision. So one is Vasudeva Sarvamiti, it is Vishnu he only. When you know that there is no difference between Shakti and Shaktiman, energy and energetic, then it is all Bhagavan which manifests like this. But if you come down little from that, then it is his Shakti manifest. Then you come down more and more, then you start seeing them all different. I like this, I don't like this. That's where degradation happens. So going up means just one. Sarvabhutesu yenekam bhavam avyam ikshati. That there is one avyaya bhava. Avibhaktam vibhakteshu. So one reality which is spread in everything, although they are different name and form. So that is the vision of devotee, Bhāgavata Uttama. So Lakshitasya Uttama Bhāgavatasya Jati Bhedad Anyani Api Lakshanani Sambhavanti Itiyaha Punarashtabhi Grihitva iti. So he says that this Bhāgavata, which is the object of description here, Lakshitasya Uttam Bhāgavatasya. So he says Jati Bhedad Anyani Api Lakshanani. He gave one definition, one Lakshana, Sarvabhutesu yapashet Bhagavad Bhavama. Now he says that actually there are various divisions of Uttam Bhāgavata itself. So in the upcoming 8 verses, including this one, these are all Uttam Bhāgavatas. So there is a variety of Uttam Bhāgavatas also. So as I said that it is not just, so various types of devotees. You read their stories, one is having Nishtha in Naam, other is having Nishtha in deity worship, somebody has Nishtha in Dham, somebody doing Japa, Kirtan. So variety. So therefore he said Jati Bhedani Anyani Api Lakshanani Sambhavanti. There are many other definitions which are possible. So 8 of them are being described here. This is one of them, Grihitva api. Then the next verse number 49. Dehendriya pran manodhyam yo janmapya buddhiya tarshakritshrai sansara dharmaira vimuhiyamana Smritya Harer Bhāgavata Pradhana. So Harer Smritya, he has Smriti of Bhagwan. Previous one he was seeing Vishnu's Maya, he was remembering, but now he says he has Smriti, reflection, recollection of Hari only, and therefore he is not bewildered by the various activities such as birth, death, hunger, thirst, fear, and desires, fatigue, etc., which are the characteristics of body, senses, life, air, mind, intelligence in this samsara dharma. These are the dharmas of the samsara, all this birth, death, etc. This is what you see here in the material world. So, he is avimuhyamana. He is not confused by them, he is not bewildered by them. That what is this happening? So whether something is happening at the level of body, senses, mind, life, air, intelligence, so he remains fixed. And what is that which gives him fixity? Is smriti, remembrance. So this remembrance of Bhagwan is the fixity. Otherwise, when we forget, smriti bhransad buddhinashat pranashyati, then our life is ruined. When we forget Bhagwan, then our mind becomes absorbed in something material. Then we are lost. Then we fall into raga and dvesha. And once we get entangled in raga and dvesha, then that's what samsara is. And we are very much used to that because of our previous samskaras. So samskaras, they make us forget. Instead of remaining fixed in this, we enter into whatever likes, dislikes, planning in future, something which has not happened yet, we start worrying about that. It may happen, it may not happen. But we are so much entangled in our mind. Or something which happened in the past, then we are very good in traveling in time. And they make this science Wi-Fi movies, sci-fi. So then you travel in time. But we are doing it all the time. Our mind has this peculiar characteristic of traveling in time. Right? Something which is not there, it presents itself to you. Something which has not happened yet, it presents that also to you. So the original purpose of that traveling in time was from the past you learn, for future you plan so that you don't make the same mistake. But instead of that, we get into our reverie, our dream state, and make palace in the air which has no foundation. So some big wind comes, it is blown away. So that's how the mind is floating. So we have to remain free from that by remembering Bhagwan. And when we don't remember, then we have to remember his Maya. But if you remember his Maya, then at least remember that it is his Maya. But we want to remember Maya without him. That is the trouble. So we have to have some Shraddha in him. We are his devotees, so we should have also Shraddha that it's not like that. So that's the samsara. So he says, Dehadinam janmadibhihi samsara dharmair avimuhyamana. So we have body, etc. Body, senses, mind, many things we have. And we have means they are not our mine. They are just borrowed for some time. But then we get so much possessed by them that we forget ourselves and become absorbed in them only. So that is the samsara dharma. So the devotee remains avimuhyamana. He is not bewildered by this. He just sees the change happening. Tatra dehasya janma apyayo. So what is the samsara dharma of the body? What is the dharma of the body? Birth, death. So we saw the death today. Right? So few days ago she was there and suddenly she left. Once the leaves, then there is nothing. And these senses are not senses anymore, they don't do anything. Such a change, suddenly such a change. And this will happen to us also. But as long as we are in this body, we forget that. That is the vimuhyamana, that is the bewilderment. And avimuhyamana is having that remembrance. Smritya hare, that's what the sloka says. Yes, smritya hare. So this is the dharma of the body. Birth and death, and in between some other, asti jayate, vardate, viparanamate, apakshiyate, and then vinashyati. So these are transformations which are unavoidable. No one can stop them. You can have any amount of money, any amount of doctors with you. This has to happen. Nobody can stop it. And then when the body is functioning, then there is a prana is there in this body. When prana leaves, that is called nisprana. That body is nisprana. So when body is there, then it has two functions. It has others also, but two are mentioned here, kshut and pipasa. Hunger and thirst. This is felt by the prana. Because of the prana, you feel this hunger. When there is an imbalance in prana, then our hunger is disturbed. Krishna also says, Pachami annam chaturvedham, aham vaishvanaro bhutva, praninam dehamashate, pranapan samakritva. So, prana and apana, these two are the one which bring. If there is an imbalance in that, then you can be very hungry, no hunger. There is also one disease called bhasmak in Ayurveda, that you are always hungry. You eat, still feel hungry. But that doesn't mean that you become nourished by that food. Just the feeling because of the imbalance in prana. Similarly, sometimes you feel thirsty and you go on drinking and your stomach is full, still you feel like drinking more. Because prana has become imbalanced. So these are felt by prana. And then bhaya, fear. Fear is in the mind. So fear is not in the body. Fear Rag, Dvesa, Lobha, Moha, Bhaya, these are Hri, Dhri, they are all in the mind. And Buddhe, Tarsha, then Trishna, intense desire for something in the buddhi. And Indriyanam, Krishram, Srama, and fatigue in the senses. The senses get tired, legs get tired, walk too much, work with hands, they get tired, eyes get tired. So our senses also feel tired. So all these things happen. These are the samsara dharma, as you said. Sansar dharmaira vimuhyamana. So he is considered as Pradhan Uttam Bhāgavata. Then again, so this is another type of Bhāgavatam. Na kam karma bijanam yasya chetasi sambhavah vasudeva ekanilayah savai Bhāgavata uttamaha. So he is indeed Uttam Bhāgavata, in whose heart there is no birth of kama, karma and bija. Why? Because Vasudeva Ekanilaya. Because it is abode of Vasudeva. Vasudeva is residing in him, so therefore he is not disturbed by that. So kama means desire to enjoy, that is the kama. Then when desire is there, then karma, avidya, kam, karma. Here it is saying kam, karma, vasana. So there are vasanas, some inclinations, some proclivities in the heart, and from them comes kamana. They are like the seed. So that's called bija. Bija means seed. So seed gets little air and water, then it becomes sprout. So there comes kamana. When kamana comes, then you hold on to it, then you act on it. Use your body senses to fulfill that. So he says that this is not sambhava. Sambhava means birth. That these things do not sprout in him. Kam, karma, bija, nam. So that means he may have vasanas, but they don't sprout. This is called murchit kasaya. Right? There were 3 types of perfected beings which were described in Bhakti Sandarbha: Murchit Kasaya and Nirdhut Kasaya. So Kasaya means this vasana, this seed is there, but it is fried. If you fry the seed, then they don't sprout. So they don't bother. So that's why it says yasya chetasi na sambhava. They don't sprout, they don't take birth, they don't come into action. And Vasudeva Ekanilaya, because his heart is the seat of Vasudeva. So Bhagavan is there, or Nilaya means shelter. Means he has taken shelter of Bhagavan, therefore, as Krishna says, Devi he sagunmayi mam maya duratteya mameva ye prapadyante. So those who take shelter of me, then maya metam tarantite. So the maya does not trouble them. That is the only antidote of maya. Maya cannot be controlled by anybody else. The only one person who can control Maya is Sri Krishna. So unless we take shelter of him, then this Maya will keep on troubling. So therefore we see in the Puranas stories of many great people, and then in our own experience we also see not so great people being disturbed by Maya. Right? So we can see the play of Maya in our own lives, how it troubles, and we also read in the history. So, because Krishna says he is Daivi Maya. Daivi means playful. So she likes to play. So she is playing with the Jivas. That's how she keeps them busy. She gives the toys to the people and play with them. Like a mother gives toys to the children, and sometimes she also plays with the child. So like that, this is the meaning of Daivi, Divu Kridayam. So keeps busy. So he says that this is not possible for this Uttam Bhāgavata because he has taken shelter only of Vasudeva. Vasudeva Eka Nilaya. That only shelter is Vasudeva. न काम इति चेतसी आदौ बीजानि वासना उत्पद्यन्ते. So he says bija means vasana, what you call subliminal desires. So desire in subtle form, that's what vasana is. So he says they are in the chetas, but they don't grow. न उत्पद्यन्ते. ततः स्त्रियादि विषयक काम तत्कर्म. So from these vasanas there is kamna comes as for man, for woman, desire for woman, for a woman desire for man. So this comes. And when desire comes, then karma, then action. So first ichha, then kriti or prayatna, then indriyas come into play. So it says there is a connection issue again.
It's working.
Working? Okay. So tata karma indriya dwara tattad vyapara. So then indriyas have their functioning. So they function according to the desires. And sometimes senses themselves also become activated. They become used to that. They get trained. So even the desire comes because of the senses. So etat tritayasya yasya chetasi na sambhava. So he says that these three things do not take birth in the heart of Uttam Bhāgavata. There is no kama, there is no karma, there is no bija, vasana. Tadevam grihitvapi ityadi tribhir dves harsha moho kamadi rahitasya. So therefore he says that what was said in the previous verse, grihitvapi, that even if he takes sense objects through his senses, he is not troubled by them. So he is free from dvesha, harsha, moha, kamadhirahita. He does not have any dvesha, dislike, moha, bewilderment, kama, ichha. So he is free from that. Rahitasya bhavati iti yatha charati iti yasya uttaram muktam. So he says that in this verse, also in the previous verse, the reply to the question yatha charati, how he moves, means how he functions in the samsara. So that has been described. So he functions here in the material world, but he does not become entangled in it. No entanglement. That is his beauty. अतः परम अध्यासम अप्राप्ति अध्याय समाप्ति पर्यंतम यद धर्म इति उत्तरम एव प्रपंचिष्यते. So he says from the next verse onward, that means verse number 51 to the end of this chapter, that is verse 55, he is going to describe yad dharma, which was asked in the question, that what is his dharma, his nature, that will be expanded upon. So this is that verse. Then we go to the next one, so which is describing his dharma. Nayasya janma karmabhyam naivarnashram jati bhihi sajjate asminnaham bhavo dehe vai sa harihe priyaha. He says that he does not become implicated in the sense of aham bhava, means he does not identify on the basis of janma, karma, birth, action, or jati in varna, ashrama, brahman, kshatriya, vaisya, etc. So he does not have the aham bhava in the body on the basis of his birth, that I am born here in this particular family, or this particular jati, or I am karma, I am this particular profession. So he says that he does not have any asakti to that. Aham bhava sajjate means he does not become attached to them. So such a person is very dear to Hari. Sa Harehi Priya. So these are our various attachments. We identify and become attached. Of course we have body. So whatever type of body we have, we function through that. But to be attached to it, then that becomes a problem. So therefore he says that he does not have aham bhava. So asmin dehe na janma karambhyam na varnashram jati vi. These are the various things which hold us. We identify with those things. So he says such a person is very dear to Hari. So janma means satkula udbhava, born in some aristocratic family. Obviously if you have to become attached, you become attached to something good. If you are not born in an aristocratic family, then it's fine. So that's a relief. It's an advantage. So everything has got advantage and disadvantage. So if you are born in a nice family, you see that people have the pride of that, right? I am born in this particular Brahman family, Kshatriya family, or royal family, or some devotee family. So this, in one side it is good, but it also has its price. So he said janma satkulodbhavatvam. Then karma, you can also become pride. I chant 64 rounds every day. Right? He said japa. So I do 1 lakh names. Lakpati. They say Mahaprabhu does not accept food if you are not a Lakpati, right? So that japa. Then dhyana, meditation. You can meditate. Then jati. So jati especially works in India very much. Outside I have no idea. But in India jati is a big deal. Still, although it's now secular state, so many things have to be done, but jati no jati. Jati does not go. At least in India it will never go. No matter what, it will continue. Especially now, as long as democracy is there, makes it very firm. So people also have great attachment to the jati. So he speaks and he gives some very weird example. Jatiyo ambasthadya. Ambastha is a jati where father is Brahmana, mother is Vaishya. Then the child is called ambastha. Anulom, yeah. You are not proud of Pratilom. But you see, Sut Goswami who is speaking Bhāgavatam is Pratilom. And he says this himself. So that means he is not proud, but he is telling it. He says that I am not born in a great family, I am Pratilom Jati. There is a lot of talk on this. Some people try to prove that he is a Brahman. And they have an explanation. Although he himself is saying I am a Suta. So Suta is when mother I think is Brahmana and wife is... No, mother is Brahmana and father is Kshatriya. I think that's when Suta is born. It's some mixture like that. So, etabhir yasya dehe aham bhavo ahankaro na bhavati. So, aham bhav means pride. So, to be pride of these things, so that does not occur to him. Because devotee, his aham bhav is that he is a dasa, daso asmi. Das, dasanudasa, I am servant of the servant of Bhagavan. That is his ahanta. Other ahantas may be necessary to function in the society, but without attachment to that. Because as long as we live in this body, we cannot deny that we have the body and the body is born in a particular family or belongs to a particular jati or performs particular functions, but the inside feeling of the devotee is that I am servant of God. So he does not identify with those things. So therefore he says that he is dear to Bhagavan. So we'll stop here if there is any question to be asked. Today internet is giving problem.
The commentary to verse number 47, he also said that the last part, Tadevam Tribhir yad dharmo yadrisha iti prashnayor uttaram uktam. So when he quoted the first three verses in answer, so that was also explaining the yad dharma and yadrish part. And now he is again saying that the five verses which are coming till last, it is also explaining yad dharma. So
more explanation.
And regarding the Bruta, what he speaks and all, it will be discussed in the next chapter?
No, I don't.
what he speaks,
Next chapter,
because
no, it has to
3-4
be.
parts were there to the question. Yat charati yat brute yer linger. So this will
Yeah,
be-
yat sharti, he said that only. Gritva pindreyaryo na dveshti narshyati. That is the yat sharati.
Okay.
Mohini.
I was wondering about this Samajik Shraddha and Shastriya Shraddha.
Hmm.
So is Shraddha of both the same if you avoid aparadh?
Fala, how it will be same?
Because if someone does not have the capacity of studying Shastra, but he or she accepts a guru who is Uttama Bhagavat, and will he get also the same result as someone who studies Shastra? Because
Yeah,
not
we
everyone
have to
has the capacity to study and understand.
So how it will be same, tell me. Here, it is whole thing is about understanding and then following it. So you have to, if you don't study, you have to at least have Shraddha that Shastra is. You have to have some knowledge. This is a path of Shastra. It's not something you can make up yourself. Otherwise,
Yeah, and the Vraj.
if you don't study Shastra, how will you avoid aparadha? You are saying that if he does not commit offense,
Yeah.
my question to you is that if he does not study Shastra, study means at least he has to know, whether he knows by reading, hearing. How will he avoid aparadha if you don't even know what is aparadha? He already said that natad bhaktesu anyasu, that he doesn't respect the other devotees. He has to know this. People study Shastra, then also they don't follow. And you are saying he can follow without studying. Okay.